Now, the other day, the National Highways Authority released a statement, and this was on the reinstatement of Mombasa Road. And this is what they said. The project company and developer of the Nairobi Expressway, Moja Expressway Company Limited, through their engineer, procure and construct contractor, Kale Infrastructure Construction Company, is progressively working to repair sections of the prior existing Mombasa Road where damage was directly caused during the construction of the Nairobi Expressway. Please note the words damage directly caused. Okay? Underline those. Shall I move on?
Mm-hmm.
These repair works under the responsibility of Moja will be completed before the end of this year, 2022. However, there are damages to the existing road and road reserve at various locations that are caused by relocation works, including water and sewer pipes relocation, power lines relocation, and ICT fiber cables relocation works, which were carried out by the respective government utility companies that are being attended to by KENHA and the respective utility companies. Do you notice those? One, there is Moja Expressway and the engineer who are dealing with the section that was damage directly caused during the construction. And then there is part B of damage caused by relocation works. That is not directly caused during the relocation, during construction. Please bear that in mind.
It's not taken into consideration.
No.
Okay.
Shall we continue? These relocation activities affected the sidewalks and pedestrian footpaths as well as roadside drainage on the existing road. KENHA has committed funds to these repair works and they continue to coordinate with the government utility companies to ensure they effectively attend to their assigned repair works. The authority is further committed to improving on the safety of pedestrians and has planned a phased construction of additional 5 pedestrian footbridges between Mlolongo and Airtel Southern Bypass Interchange and along the Westland section between Aga Khan School and the junction to Brookside Drive. Pedestrian footpaths are also included in the scope of works to be undertaken. Statement has ended. Ndu, translate that statement.
It's not our fault that the road is in the state that it is in, and those who have actually caused this damage have said they're going to fix it. We have also made sure that the things you've complained about in terms of bus stops and footbridges, that we have erected a number of them along the said highway and that everything is okay.
That's bunk.
We shall erect 5 additional footbridges.
Yeah.
And the pedestrian walkways are going to be repaired.
Yeah.
And the utility companies that then caused these damages are coming to repair them.
When was this statement issued?
Day before yesterday.
Precisely. A similar statement was issued earlier. When we first started talking about this, when the story of the 9 billion came up, it was with a view to ensuring that these very same things that we're now talking about again were rectified and were told. So this isn't a new story, and these promises are not new either.
When I was in grade school, we used to go on like a field trip every semester for you to understand the processes in practicality of the things that we're being taught in theory. In
You guys
class.
didn't go for nature walks?
We did that too.
Okay.
Now, in order for you to understand what is really going on Mombasa Road, a field trip is necessary. Take a trip in a matatu. Okay. Get on a...
Matatu is good.
Get on a...
Nduthi.
Thank you very much. From Haile Selassie at the junction there, at the roundabout, and just do a thing until Mlolongo.
Yes.
Okay? Then you will understand what it is that we are talking about. This statement, dressed in hoity-toity, is very nice. However, it does not capture the situation of what is really going on Mombasa Road. We saw this damage when the expressway was being built, before it had even reached the stage of completion,
And we spoke
where they
about
will
it.
will be able to use it. And we asked the question, what is going to happen at that time where there was just total disaster and there were those 36-hour-long traffic jams? We were asking the question. We can see the potential damage that is happening now. Are they going to make sure that upon completion of this road, the amenities that were necessary for road usage were going to be sorted out? Bicycle paths, sidewalks for people to walk on, bus stops, will these then be put back? Me ask the question, everything is gonna be all right.
It's in the plan.
Like a
It's in the
James Marley,
design.
like a Bob Marley song on repeat. That is what it sounded like. Now here we are. Upper Road has been completed. People who still have to use what is now being called Barabaraya Chini are the ones who are bearing the brunt of this. Just take a spot check from Haile Selassie at the junction. You now have 4 bus stops between Haile Selassie and Mlolongo. 4.
Where are they?
So now you have, it's not really a bus stop, it's just a makeshift one. There's at the Shell petrol station just at the mouth of, just after Nyayo Stadium.
That isn't a bus stop.
Before Haile Selassie and Kaburini, that's what it's called, Abi.
Makaburini.
There's
That's
nothing.
The Bunyala roundabout.
There's nothing. So if you're walking, you're done.
Right.
If you need to stop, get on a vehicle, there's nowhere for you to stop. That's why I started at that
Between
Nyayo Stadium.
Bunyala and Nyayo Stadium
So,
itself.
Between Bunyala and Nyayo, there's just that Shell petrol station. It's a makeshift. It's not really a bus stop.
That thing
Okay.
is not a bus stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a makeshift kind of thing.
It's called
So
an
this is where
acceleration.
Matatus decide to.
They stop and then they even
It's
some
an
that line up
acceleration lane,
along the
an
side of
opportunity
the
for you to join the main road.
They
Yeah.
stop
It's not a
along the
bus
side
stop.
of the road.
Yes.
All right? Now, as you proceed from there is the bridge that was on Mombasa Road that connects South B to South C.
The Kidero Bridge.
There. There is some
the old bridge.
the old bridge
The
upon
overpass.
which the overpass
Okay.
upon which now the expressway connected. All right, there's another house there. I can't remember what it's called, but there's also another makeshift bus stop there before you approach.
Before now you get to the
Capital
Capital Center
Okay.
entry to the expressway.
Yes. Now remember, at Capital Center there used to be an official bus stop. There used to be one where Matatus would whatever. It doesn't exist anymore. That was removed. It's gone. After that, you get to the South B Bridge. All right, it takes you into South B. There's that bridge there. There's a bus stop there. After that, there used to be another one which was now opposite. I did the field trip, so I know what I'm telling you. After that, there was opposite.
Bellevue.
Bellevue. That's the Bellevue one. Thereafter, there's St. James Next Gen. Opposite, there was another. Now we're doing inbound.
Where St. James
We're
Hospital
doing
was.
outbound, yes, okay? But opposite. Now we're doing outbound before we even go to inbound.
Okay.
All right? So you come and there was one there, but it wasn't really a bus stop. There was an interchange as you go up towards Winners Chapel as you progress
So
now
it is
towards
not really a
Mombasa
bus
Road.
stop.
So there was just a place where
Near the southern bypass.
Exactly. It was just a place where Matatus stop, get off, get on, whatever. Then thereafter, there was the one at Airtel, okay? At that petrol station, which now does not exist. Okay? Now, after that, there was Panari. And after that, there was General Motors, which still exists. But if you're on this side going to town, for example, and then there was a pedestrian crossing from here where we are across the road. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So if you are here where we are and you're trying to get to town using public transport, you will walk to General Motors and then you will cross over. And even that doesn't exist anymore. There was a maybe certified bus stop there. But with this design flaw of this General Motors place, whatever is happening here, you're not able to turn properly. So when you turn, you in a private vehicle, if you turn, you find yourself in what used to be bus
Into
stop.
the bus stop.
Okay?
What used to be?
What used to be the bus stop.
You know, it doesn't actually exist anymore.
So let's keep going. General Motors bus stop, there is certified one there.
Go up the bridge, go down.
Yes.
Maradaima.
In Maradaima, you're at the mall. And at the petrol station, at that mall, new mall there's something where vehicles stop. From there...
Not a designated bus stop.
No, it's not a
No.
designated bus stop.
It's
It's
the
just
vehicles.
another thing like that.
Right.
All right. After that is what used to be the Cabanas bus stop. But it's still moving because it's not designated anymore. Your 3 lanes are there. There's no bus stop except now at what used to be the Tuskies go down. All right. So there's that inward, there's that bus stop that is there. From there, the next designated bus stop from Cabanas is
Mall.
Katani. No, it's not a bus stop anymore. It's been removed. It's just road. At the mall, at Gateway Mall, it doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. It's finished. The next one is at Katani, and it's not even Katani. It is a thing again. After that, your next one is in Mlolongo. How many official bus stops are there?
How many footbridges have we counted from there?
So from Lolongo, are we going now back into the city?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So there was one that was half a bus stop, half a footbridge, and then everybody made noise. Then they came back and said, "Oh, we forgot."
And they extended it
Then
to
they
the other
finished it.
side.
Yeah. Then there was the one here that was done at Imaradaima, and that was completed, and then Cabanas. So those three, if we're talking about between here and there. But and then the other one after that is, of course, the South B at Bellevue, and then the other one at the junction of the Nyayo Stadium roundabout. So, how are people supposed to use this road if they are in pedestrian status or if they are going to have to use public transport?
What are the responsibilities of the contractor at the initial stage? I think those are the main questions. Because since then what we've seen is in May last year, and I'm going to read a story that's in the Standard, expressway opens as 9 billion shillings set aside to reclaim the defaced Mombasa Road. The state will spend 9 billion shillings in refurbishing the Mombasa Road, even as it opened up the Nairobi Expressway to public use. The Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure said it will, in the coming days, sign a contract with the China Road and Bridge Corporation to repair sections of the old roads, Mombasa Road, Uhuru Highway and Wayaki Way, that had been damaged during the construction of the 27-kilometre road. Transport CS then, James Macharia, said the 9 billion shillings would be investment for additional features on the old roads, including a BRT system, as well as lanes for cyclists and pedestrians. He spoke when he opened the road to the public for a 3 to 4 week trial period before it's officially commissioned. And this is what he said then. We are going to enhance the old road all the way from Lolongo to Westlands to make sure that motorists who do not use the expressway also have a more dignified road. This is quoted verbatim from the former CS for Transport, James Macharia. He continued, the formal contract will be signed in a week or so, but rehabilitation has started. We shall be doing drainage systems, lighting and recarpeting the old road to ensure that all of us, whether driving up there or down there, have enhanced comfort on this particular corridor. Okay? That is what he said then. He said the other expenditure will be to enhance the old road. We'll be putting up a BRT system that's an addition to what was there before. We'll also be doing cycling lanes, pedestrian walkways. These are additional investments which the government will bear. The road has been built by CRBC under the public-private partnership model. This was in May. Where he said that the contract was going to be signed in just a few days' time. Now, it is not in public domain that this contract was actually signed, as promised. Okay? This was a minister saying, in the next week or so, we are signing a contract with the China Road and Bridge Corporation so that they can repair this road and also put in additional features. That contract was not signed. The rehabilitation of that road did not begin. Come June, come a couple of weeks later, and the president commissions the road. And the president still talks about, and this is President Uhuru Kenyatta, he still talks about rehabilitation of the old Mombasa Road. Now this statement that I've just read from Kenha is still talking about rehabilitation of this old Mombasa Road, and it is now a different story. Moja Expressway, notice, China Road has not been mentioned anywhere.
Nope.
Because they were not given a contract. Moja Expressway, that's now in charge of managing the expressway and taking the toll and making the money, is saying that through their engineer, they are going to, in the areas which were directly affected by the construction of the road, they are going to repair. The others which were not directly affected by construction of the road, which include demolishing of walkways, demolishing of, I don't know, this and the other.
How is that not a direct impact of the construction?
They're not direct. No, it's not direct. You see, if we didn't have to build the road for you to, I don't know. And that's why I told you, please explain to me. Because I don't understand what part of Mombasa Road was not
affected as direct impact of the construction
of the expressway.
Do we have to start
all these
list?
relocations, the ICT cable relocation, the power lines cable relocation, the sewer and water pipes cable relocation was as a result of
the construction
of the expressway.
So they actually, look, the truth of the matter, and let's put it very very plainly here. There is nothing that has become an inconvenience of this road that is not of direct impact from the construction of the expressway. Nothing. This thing that we're talking about, no bus stops, no pedestrian walk, no zebra crossings anymore. We're talking about the roads that are still now being dug up right now. The people who, by the way, whose power lines have not been re-established since they were removed there is nothing that people are inconvenienced by today that is not as a direct result of the construction of the expressway. Nothing. So you cannot cherry pick which one now that you'll fix. Oh, actually, today's Tuesday. So what we will do is let's just fix this section and we can say we're done. That's why they can tell you they'll be done by December 31st. Because they're going to do 3 things. And then they'll tell you that which they had established to do, they've actually finished. So
which for them is putting their wire mesh on the road.
And anytime somebody crashes into the wire mesh, come one lonely Sunday morning, by 12 noon, they fixed it. They tell you that whatever it is that they finished. Absolutely not.
Very many questions here about the rehabilitation of the old Mombasa Road into Huru Highway, into Wayaki Way, and also extending beyond this. There's another different contractor who's been working on a road between ABC Place and Rironi Junction. The people of Odhiru, of Mountain View, all these people have been complaining and wondering, so how do we get home? Because the state of this road is still completely in shambles. If you go to Gitaru, and that's the junction between the southern bypass linking to the western bypass and dealing with the road to Nakuru, a whole complete mess. Who's in charge of this? We'd invited the Kenya National Highways Authority Director General. Unfortunately, he's not able to come in today because he is attending an engineers meeting in Mombasa. But we shall have him. In the meantime, we'll talk about the job that they ought to do. 24 minutes to 8.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Enjoy Black November with Cold Stone Creamery Kenya. Get 2 Gotta Have It cups and 2 cake slices at only 1,500 Kenya shillings. And other amazing deals for you and your friends this November. Visit any of our stores in Nairobi or Mombasa and enjoy creamy, smooth ice cream and deliciously crafted ice cream cakes. Ice cream is always a great idea.
Everyone remembers the ambition they first had when they started their business.
A business holds promise. An idea could blow up and change lives anywhere on the planet. But the best idea is not worth much if it can't be executed by a solid team. Introducing The Room, the talent solution that provides a global network of tech talent, relationships, and resources dedicated to drive growth and innovation in your business. Hire tech talent and pick from qualified software engineers, cloud developers, web developers, and data analysts, all vetted and trained to Silicon Valley standards. The way we work has changed, and subsequently, so should the way we hire. Visit theroom.com today and discover how we can improve your business.
All right, looking at partly cloudy conditions in Nairobi at 16, highs of 24. We'll see highs of 24 as well in a partly sunny Nakuru, going to lows of 13. Light rain now in Nyeri at 16, highs of 22 and lows of 14. And at 14, it's sunny in Eldoret, highs of 23. We'll see highs of 31 in a rainy Mombasa at 27. And it's 27 and light rain in parts of Malindi as well, going to highs of 31. 21 and rainy in Kisumu, highs of 27. And we'll see highs of 26 in a cloudy Kakamega at 20. It's 19 and a wet morning in Kampala, highs of 26 and lows of 18, and 28 and raining in Dar es Salaam, going to highs of 32. 18 and sunny in Johannesburg, highs of 25 and lows of 14, and it's a rainy morning now in Lagos at 25. It'll go to highs of 32. We'll see highs of 31 in a mostly clear Kinshasa at 24.
Spice up your life.
All right, so quite something in many parts Rilo Dinga Way, then feeding off onto Gong Road and going towards into the city. We're also looking at it coming off Kamkunji heavy on Haile Selassie and looking at other parts now, coming off Gong Road, going in other direction, then out towards Gitanga Road, Naivasha Road, all leading into Lavington and out towards James Gishuru. That's pretty busy as you cross over to Wayaki Way. It's busy coming out of Westlands. Ring Road Westlands is in and outbound, heavy blocked traffic, and that's going to feed into Peponi and whatever is coming out then through to Limuru Road. Kiambu Road is doing that thing again today, folks. We had knocked on wood and hoped it wouldn't be, but it's busy traffic and has slowed down considerably in the last half hour. So if you don't have to use Kiambu Road, do not. The Thika Superhighway is wagging its tongue and saying it's not doing too badly this morning with traffic going out towards Surveys, where you see the heaviest of it, at least for now. Juja Road is also heavy coming into the city. We'll keep an eye on things to let us know what's going on where you are on SpiceFM KE on Twitter.
Spice up your life. Mature, intelligent talk every morning. Spice up yourself. Mornings done right. 94.4 Spice FM.
9012600. Talk about the impact of the construction of the expressway on especially the other road users, and we're talking about particularly pedestrians along the entire stretch. Where do you board a matatu? How do you walk from the one stage to one point to the other? How many footbridges do you have access to? And how many places can you actually cross the road? How many places can you walk on a pedestrian walkway?
You know, when you do a casual reading on just the subject of road designs, as a layperson, one of the things you come across is the first look at the type of road it is, okay? And they're categorized. But there are certain fundamentals that every road is expected to have. It's meant to carry traffic. It's meant to be a highway. If it's a highway, they're fundamentals. You know, there are these things we call shoulders in a road, okay? Small little things that they put on the side of the road to ensure that, you know, even...
so the lamy does not just end abruptly?
No, it doesn't end abruptly. There's like a little something that reminds you that you've come to the end of
There's Kidogo lamy on the side.
Yes, exactly. Okay. They're supposed to have even parking lanes. A place where, ideally, should something happen and you need to... Your car can break down.
Yeah.
Where do you live? In the middle of the road? No, there's a place where you can park it. Then there's supposed to be what they call bus bays, a place, what you call bus parks, where a bus can park. Then there's service roads. This Shell near Nyayo Stadium, that little expansion of the road so that vehicles coming from the petrol station can easily join the main thoroughfare, okay? In some advanced countries, they even have a cycle track, meaning a place where cyclists can actually go. And then they have guardrails. Now, if you look at this expressway, there's some chicken mesh that they've sort of like put on the side of the road.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you first ask yourself, what am I seeing here? I don't know, is that supposed to be a guardrail? What is that supposed to be? What am I trying to say? That when you look at fundamentals of any road design, you would assume certain things would be taken care of. Because there's the understanding that of the multiplicity of function that that road purposes. It's not only people who own cars who are going to use that road. There are people who also use public transport. There are those who may not necessarily be using transport. The transport they're using are their legs.
Yep.
All these things have to be taken care of. So how do you approve a construction of a project like the one we see, and the fundamentals that any lay person who bothers to read can find out about and know these are the things that are fundamental? And you're telling us you have this swanky expressway, and yet the very fundamentals that existed on this road, we are talking about things that existed. They existed because when it was designed, they put them there. Then you come across a new design or a new plan which now does away with what already existed. The things we're asking for here, the majority are not things which are new. They existed.
No, nobody's even asking you to be, creative and come
No,
up with something
return
special
what you
for-
took away.
Just return what it did, and then just make the road accessible and then pliable for people who must use it.
Yes.
Because we cannot run away from the reality that there are people who will not be able to afford to use the expressway on a regular basis. We know that. There are quite a number of people who
The
may
vast
be able
majority
to use
of those road users will
cannot.
not use it.
Even those
They
who
will
will
not
use
the
it today
expressway.
on a Tuesday may not be able to use it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and will probably use it again in a few days. This is the truth of the matter. But one might ask the question that why are we up in arms over this thing? Why are we making noise about this matter? After all, did they not send a statement telling us that they are going to fix this thing by the end of December? See, they've said they're going to fix it.
Yeah, but
Why
they
are we
said it
making
even
noise?
earlier.
Thank you very much. Now, this is the thing. That even at the time where there were those crazy traffic jams, do you remember what we were told? When there was dust that was then affecting children who lived in this area,
It became a health hazard.
it became a health hazard. And what are we told? Every 3 hours, there will be water bowsers that will be coming and they will be spraying water on the road and so making sure that the dust does not rise in the air. We were told. Did it happen? It didn't happen.
It happened. It happened in words.
Thank you very much. Now, that is why people are up in arms today. Because you do not do what you say. And if we have seen that not on a different matter, this same matter, when you said you were going to do certain things you did not do, what is the assurance that in this instance, I don't care, by the way, whether it is Moja Express, whether it is China Who, whether it is Kenha, whoever else, it doesn't matter who it is. On this same issue, the things that you said you were going to do, you did not do.
No, you didn't.
You didn't do. So what is to guarantee people that come December 31st, we will now be able to get on public transport from Green Park, which, by the way, is where it's going to be. From Green Park, get on a vehicle, and if I want to stop at a designated bus stop in order for me to cross over. Because, by the way, no, you will not be able to cross over Mombasa Road.
Yep, unless you're using a footbridge.
Unless you're using a footbridge. But if you're where you're going is nowhere near a footbridge, there's nothing like, oh, okay,
Walk
let's
to
see
the
if we-
nearest
thank you.
footbridge.
There's nothing like, oh, let's see if we can erect a couple more for you. You cannot cross over the expressway because for obvious reasons, it ceases to be an expressway if there's going to be a break in it, right? So that is the reality you're going to live with. And the truth of the matter is that they did not take into consideration what was going to happen to the old Mombasa Road with the establishment of the expressway. It was not taken into consideration. So anything that they're going to do now is going to be, okay, let us see what we can do, if it will even be considered.
They have signed 5 more footbridges. Guess how much that's going to cost? George in Limuru, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Now, as much as the expressway affects you guys, we are also affected by the James Geshuru Rironi road that was fixed.
That too, yes. Tell us about it, please.
That is a disaster.
Explain.
There is no single footbridge. There is no stage. There is no service lane. There is no, shoulder where people can walk. It's just even a single zebra crossing.
Yep.
Nothing. We talk of the bridges the underpass bridges. Once it rains, it's a disaster. It's a dam.
It's a flood zone.
Yes. It is just horrible design that was done, and it is not complete, and there are no signs of it being done again. As in,
George,
unless,
when is the last
I don't
time
know.
that when did you last use this section of the road?
Sorry?
When did you last use this section of the road between James
It's
Geshuru
my
and-
daily road.
Every day?
Yes.
So when did you last
And-
see the contractor on site?
Well, I think 2020? Yeah. And you know, and the moment you're seeing him, he's trying to repair things that have spoiled. It's not construction. You can see. It isn't construction. It's repair of a section that,
So for people who may not really realize what's happening is that the expansion of James Kishuru to Rironi was to create extra lanes and service lanes. Now,
We haven't seen the service lane.
but you've seen the wider road.
The way the road is there,
How are people crossing from one side of the road to the other side of the road?
it's a race.
So you've got to do the timing of the matatu and
Yes.
the vehicles passing.
Exactly. The people that have died on that road being knocked
Yep.
and the accidents, because there are no signs, there are no nothing, it's horrible.
Yep.
Mm.
Crazy.
The last thing actually they did was just drawing the lines,
Yeah. Thank you, George. Let's hear from others as we pick the other callers. Ndu, please go to the news library and check that news article where the CS James Macharia was complaining about this contractor, saying that they needed, I think, 3 more months. And he said they needed 6 more months. And he said, I'm going to give you only 3 more months. And that this road was going to be completed by the time Macharia was out of office. Andrew.
Hey, how are you?
Good morning.
Morning to you. How are you?
Very well.
I wanted to add up on the Rironi Kangemi Road.
Yes.
That road is a disaster waiting to happen. And unfortunately,
Yep.
all the heavy goods trucks that go to use the southern bypass
Yep.
first go through there.
Yep.
All the way from the Rironi to Kikuyu. So what happens is they have left some gaps between the wall that has been put there
Yep.
that I think are for installing street lights. That is what is left for passengers to cross by.
So that's how people are crossing the road,
That is how people cross the road.
squeezing themselves into
Motorbikes-
those gaps.
Yes. Motorbikes also squeeze themselves into those gaps. If you get to a place called not Tigoni.
Sigona?
There's a place where Sigona.
Yep.
There's a junction going into Limuru, and the matatus have made it a bus stop, and it's a downhill. So it has become so dangerous
Yeah.
that I think I will send a video in so that people can see what I'm talking about.
Please do that. Please take a video and tag us on SpiceFM KE on Twitter.
I'll do that.
Thank you, Andrew. Eric Inutawala, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
Fine, sir. Really, I'm following what you are discussing, and it's really very productive.
What's your
Very useful
experience
for
on
us.
these
I'm
roads?
coming from. I'm using Mombasa Road and Eastern Bypass. I'm from Utawala.
Okay.
There's a new road. There's this dual road which was still under construction.
The expansion of the
Yes,
Eastern Bypass.
the same. There are no service lanes. U-turn is not visible,
Yeah.
and every day you see accidents there. Now, where I'm actually branching, I'm branching where we call it Kayole Junction. It's called Shooters. People who are crossing to come to town, there is no bridge. Unapatisha tu, you see the vehicles there, and then you run. So, and everything is actually, even somebody who has not done engineering can easily tell something is wrong. And it's unfortunate, the same thing to Mombasa Road. When I try to avoid using the inland container depot to reduce the inconvenience that is experienced at GM. So really something went wrong, and I'm wondering why the opposition is talking about GMOs and they are not seeing this one also. These are terrible things. Is it? I don't know why they are not talking about the expressway, and yes, Aquila is Aquila. So really I appreciate this topic, and continue the good work for us, speaking on our behalf.
Asante
Who don't
sana.
have a yeah.
Asante sana. Thank you, Eric. 0719-012-600. Want to hear your personal experience, and as you're hearing all these roads, it's about pedestrians. Pedestrian walkways, footbridges, an issue. It took very many years for Kenha to actually after the completion of the Thika Superhighway, for Kenya to come back and start erecting footbridges. It's like, oh my God, people need to cross the road. Okay, let's issue a separate contract. Same thing now they're saying, we are going to construct 5 new footbridges between Mulolongo and Airtel, and then another one in Westlands. Did you not know that there are people who needed to cross the road?
It's deliberate. It's deliberate. We are seeing and experiencing the consequences of impunity. This is what happens when you have a system that, right from the very top, you have a leadership that ignores court orders and you think it doesn't have consequences. What you're doing is telling them the rule of law doesn't apply. And when that message is passed down, anyone in our system of government who has authority will do things believing and knowing full well that nothing will happen. So long as you have the money, how do you have a budget for a road and you know the people who are in Kenya, these are engineers. This is what they have studied. You cannot tell me they didn't know.
They just, it occurred to them after the completion of the road, or even now as we speak, as the contractor is working and has been working for very many years on the section between ABC Place, James Gishuru Road and Rironi Junction, that they haven't considered how pedestrians are going to cross the road. You know, we said it here like it's a joke. There are children who were born and they're now going to kindergarten, and what they see happening outside their home in Kangemi, in Uthiru, they think that's how a highway should look like.
You know, when you drive there, you actually have to drive slowly because there are people crossing, and it's supposed to be a
and it's
highway.
on a daily basis.
For heaven's sake.
It's crazy. Let's go back to the phone lines. Ali in Mombasa, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, I'm happy to say again that this situation room is really giving us a situation.
Yep.
A room that always give us thinking and give us a lot of knowledge.
Karibu sana.
What I'm trying to ask is, before we build any road, we see a lot of people who have been employed to do research.
Yep.
You can say we get people writing about how many cars are going to pass, what should be the junctions and whatever. Are they not asked to say whether there are people crossing the road?
No, it appears like they are told to focus on the cars.
Focus on the cars. These cars is used by people.
Seems like it.
Yeah, these cars drop people on their way. These cars, they have to be allowed to use those roads because of the people.
Yeah.
Now, when it's done, those people who approve that feasibility study, don't they take a route also, do around and see whether these people are supposed to be crossing the road or the cars are supposed to be dropping people and whatever? That is my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Karanja.
Yes, Eric, UN City.
Good morning.
Morning, Karanja.
Yes, I'm verified City Muka. Now my problem is, name them Kura or Okera. Why don't they have a plan when building these roads to consider people who are cycling? Why are not they doing the cycling lanes? Like in Mombasa here, for instance, they have decided to construct a road, but all of a sudden we complained. And if you come along the Naivasha way from the wild drive from the junction, the main junction from Nakuru, the BC Nakuru Nairobi highway, they have decided to put some cycling lane there. And I think this is something that it should be on the road. Whatever they are deciding to plan any road in Kenya.
They should factor
especially, yes, they should consider the cycling lane, the pedestrian lane.
Yeah.
And I think this should be very, very good thing for them to do. Thank you very much, Eric Kidu City.
Thank you, Karanja. 19th of April, 2021. Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia has issued an ultimatum to engineers from China Wuyi firm over the delays in the 16 billion shillings Wayakiwe expansion project. The project involves the expansion of the 25 kilometers James Gishuru to Rironi Road stretch along Wayakiwe into a superhighway. The project, which began in 2017 was slated to be completed in December 2020. What's the date today, Ndu?
Today is November 22nd, 2022.
The seer said that the delays were becoming more frequent and gave an ultimatum for the road to be completed by the end of July 2021. That's not what we agreed on. You told us that December 2020, then it was February 2021, then April, and now you want December. No way, it can't work like that. We've been helping you with everything that you have asked, and now you want more time? I thought we are coming to prepare for the commissioning, but now it cannot be done because you're saying 3 kilometers are not ready. What we want now is to get a firm commitment that the road will be completed in the next 2 months. That's what he said in April 2021. 2 months. We are talking about a section that the contractor said only 3 kilometers. Only 3 kilometers are left. You're hearing the people who are talking about this in the morning, and they're saying there's no marking on the road.
There's nothing. It's a race to make it to the other side alive.
Madness.
Like the War of the Jungle, man.